So I'm going to introduce you a bit to what we do. I have to stand over here with this keyboard. So what we're doing right now, I've been here for 6 months, more or less, and we implemented a new strategy in February. So it's just getting going, and we're trying to cover a lot. So just to take you through the most important things we're doing right now, which is one of them is Facebook. What I created a specific strategy for Facebook. First we did an overall strategy for B2C, B2B, and brand, and then we went down in each tool. So we decided what we wanted to do with Facebook. We are the leading job board on Facebook when it comes to likes and engagement and things. So we agreed on what we wanted to use it for, who to target, which is obviously our target audience, between 18 and 25, top 45 universities, and then when do we want to post, which is probably one of the most important questions when it comes to Facebook. We did a lot of research and we talked to our users to figure out when they're actually on it. Just released a survey a few months ago about trying to tap into when do you use what, and Facebook is the first thing they check in the morning, 80% of our users. So that is quite a lot. So it's very important that we're on that.
I kind of do that too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
I do it too.
Yeah.
I don't even work with this. I should get sick of this.
I know,
I still do
me
it.
too.
It's addictive. And also quantity. We've seen you can see a correlation between the increase of unlikes with the more posts. So I try and control this. So I'm the only one that is basically allowed to post on Facebook. So we'll get we get the same kind of language. So we get maximum 2 posts a day. I don't want to do 2 posts.
Well, that's good because I think a lot of people still think that the more they're posting, that's a good thing. Keep posting, but of course it's about one good post is better than 10 crap posts.
And also another thing people don't really get about social media, in my opinion, is that it isn't all about just talking. It's also about the analytics and really understanding the correlations of things. So you don't really need like a numbers head, but you need to have a grasp of analytical.
Sorry, what does Dianalytics mean?
Analytics.
Okay, I thought you said Dianalytics.
Sorry. And also, this is our brand, which you hopefully have seen. It's a brain, if you don't see that. What we do is we try to promote the brand through our Facebook page, so they recognize it when we go out to fairs and other kind of marketing we do. So on the new Facebook pages, you can't choose which pictures you have, as you can do in a profile. So we chose only to have 5 images, and all of them is with the brain, so it's a consistent image, which again will be replicated in our new Facebook page. This is the one we have right now. So what is going to happen is that we're revamping the whole page. I'm getting mock-ups later today from an agency who's doing it for us. So up here will be designed tabs. So as you know, before these tabs were up here, now they've been switched. So this is very confusing. Facebook keeps on changing everything all the time. It's very annoying because you have to keep on top of it every day. I read so much every day about everything they want to do. Another thing we did, we started with engaging questions. So do you agree with the results? Let us know before we just posted things. Now we're asking for some engagement, so we're getting answers. So I try to answer back within like 30 minutes to really keep a live conversation going. Also, we've started using Ovly links, which is basically like Bitly, but I use the software that's called Hootsuite, which is a social media management tool, so I can track it, so I can see how many's reading it, how many click-throughs is get, things like that. So it's actually numbers I can bring back to management instead of just saying what I'm doing. And also, they just launched a new questions feature last week or 2 weeks ago. So it's all about the new features on Facebook. How can you use them? So what we're doing with the questions feature, we have a great content guy on our marketing team who writes all our news articles and everything. So
is that Mike?
That's Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
So every time, Mike and I work very closely because we're basically communications, the 2 of us. And so every time he writes an article, he tells me, so can you tweet this for me or something like that? And then I look at the article and see, okay, is there any way I can interact with our audience for this? So just yesterday, he put up an article about the tuition fees and how much more loan you're going to get. So that's a great thing. You can do a poll or something and use a new feature. So we spend quite a lot of time on this now. So it's basically all about engagement, and that's what we're trying to do with our new page. We're creating totally new tabs and just trying to get, of course, more likes, but in the end, more registrations, which is our marketing objective. So over to LinkedIn. This is more of a B2B tool. It's very new. LinkedIn is it's growing a lot, and it's also very, we're very unsure how to actually use it, because they're trying to replicate Facebook a bit.
Yeah, sure. Ways. In fact, very recently they're launching a new sort of social version, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
I was reading about it a couple of days ago.
Definitely,
it's interesting actually, because my view is always that LinkedIn is sort of quite executive level, and I suppose what we're trying to do is something which is much more open and bringing it down for everyone to use.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. You can see how few students actually know of LinkedIn.
Yeah, sure.
That also came out through our survey. I think it was 10% that actually had a LinkedIn account, which is quite low. Do you have a LinkedIn account? I do.
Never used it though.
You never used it?
I've never used it. I only signed up because somebody, you do the, you send the email to somebody to say, hey, I'm on this thing. That's the only reason I'm on it.
You should check out a news article on Milgram that launched 2 days ago, top 10 tips for LinkedIn.
Top 10
tips for LinkedIn. I wrote that. So yeah, it's a B2B focus for us, especially now. We just launched a new product last week about an ATS system, application tracking software. Very sexy product to promote. And what we did, we revamped the whole company profile. So we got like spotlights and banners in there. We're going to integrate YouTube to show videos how they use this product. So it's more for the recruiters that need a software to kind of control and have an overview of all the candidates. Also, we're going to be active in groups and the question and answer field, because that's where you kind of put your mark on LinkedIn. That's where you get the expert status. And the LinkedIn ads, we just started a campaign 2 weeks ago. It's basically like Facebook ads, just on LinkedIn, and you can target them way more. They're a bit more expensive. But usually the click-throughs you get are real quality. They actually do something. They don't just go in. So that's very exciting, but also we're very unsure of what kind of results it will actually produce, because it's such a new product, so not many people know how to use it. But we are aware that we need to have a B2C focus, just because it will grow. We strongly believe that LinkedIn will grow among students. But there's extremely low awareness there. I had LinkedIn when I was a student, just because I had a friend that knew everything about social media before I kind of went into the industry. Yeah, and she got me on it.
Yeah, I never really used it at all.
No, I started to use it. I see the real advantage of it now. If I'm on the phone with some agency, usually goes like 5 minutes. I have a new request on LinkedIn from that person. It's such a good networking tool. It's just all about using it right and spending some time on your profile to actually make it good. Again, here's the groups and question and answers. We have just opened up a new Milgram group there that we're trying to promote to students, but we are seeing that this is going to require a lot of resources just to build awareness. So is that something we want to dedicate time to, because social media is so big and it requires a lot of resources. So we're not really sure which way we want to go with this yet, and Facebook is more our priority when it comes to candidates than LinkedIn. Probably going to launch how-to guides. So how do you start a LinkedIn profile? What are the most important things you have to do right away? How do you optimize your account? How do you optimize your company profile? How do you network on LinkedIn? There's so many ways you can go about it. You can use events. You can set up your own groups. You can be active in discussions. So it's a really untapped market in our opinion. And then we have a lovely Twitter, which was my enemy yesterday. Again, here I created a specific strategy. When I started, we had a normal Twitter account, which is Milgram Online, which covers news and advice the site. It's just more like a traffic builder. That went very well. And then here it's all about the communication. So I wanted to do, I wanted to create a two-way communication. So that's why I acquired Hootsuite, because it tells me when somebody talks to me. So I can actually just go in there. So Hootsuite is up all the time. It's also all about monitoring. I use something that's called Social Mention, which is a free, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a free tool online, so you just put in Milkground and you get all the mentions. So you can actually, even though they don't put the @ before, so you don't get the actual mention, you can see when they actually talk about you. So you can go in and see, okay, is this something I need to address? We had a few complaints out there that were talking about Milkground, because we emailed quite a lot. And I went in and just told them, please set your preferences, and if you're struggling, please contact us. And they did. And sometimes they just talk about us, so it's all about knowing when to interfere and not to interfere, because they're having a private conversation online. So, and then Hootsuite, as I mentioned, is a great tool. I can bulk upload tweets, which I do. Yeah.
I was wondering, I know you say sometimes, even though they're having a private conversation, but a lot of the times when, from what I've been taught, if a customer has a bad experience with a company, 9 times out of 10 they don't actually complain to the company. They complain to like 10 other people.
Here's, yeah.
And
that's why.
Yeah. So I think it probably might be best to just say, "Hey, I heard blah 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 blah," like almost every time, because then it shows that you actually care.
Yeah, I always go in if something negative.
Yeah.
I always say something. It's more about if they're asking. Usually, somebody tweets, "Does anybody know about a good job board?" And Milkground usually comes up. I never go into those conversations because I don't really. Oh, thank you for your recommendation. I don't really see the point in doing that. But you're definitely right. Every time there's something negative, you need to go out there.
Yeah.
You need to look at Twitter as a way of like expressive tool, really, and that you really need to go in and just be positive and deal with it. I think the biggest problem big brands are doing is that so many of them are just ignoring it, or they're not having the right people dealing with it, or having too many people dealing with it too. Yeah. You need a consistency overall. That's very important in social media. That's something we've discovered here since I got the responsibility and I'm only working on it. Of course, I ask for advice, but I'm the one that actually tweet and talk on Facebook and things. We see there's more engagement and there's more recognition amongst the candidates because they kind of know who they're talking to even though they don't have a face. So, and then I also use something that's called Tweet Reach, which is like Social Mention. Sometimes because social media is so new, sometimes these programs are a bit dodgy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So I like to have a couple so I'm not missing out on anything. It's a really good tracking software. So again, it's all the engagement, just to really get them to talk to us really if they can be bothered. And it's all about grabbing those opinion leaders because I see there's probably like 15 people on our Facebook page, the same people that keep on commenting.
Yeah.
And it's so important to just grab them right away.
Same as Wigoo, yeah.
Yeah,
as a
can we
community.
actually use them? Because that's what they want to do, they want to be used. So then we launched Job Twitter. We saw that Prospects is doing it, Target Jobs are doing it, and we're like, why aren't we? I asked, why aren't we doing it? And it's basically it was just a resource question. So we launched this. It's called Milkground_jobs. Totally new strategy. We decided that it will only be jobs, nothing else. What we wanted to do is we talked to something called Tweet Job Search, which is basically a company that tweet for you. So they take your XML feed and then just tweet it for you. But what happens then is that you don't control it. And you can't choose, okay, is there any of the jobs we have online? If they're struggling, they're not getting any candidates, any applications, then they will only get tweeted once if somebody externally does it. So we decided to do it internally. So the strategy is that from Monday to Fridays, we tweet jobs that sales ask me to tweet because if they're struggling with something, or some applicants or some other reason, they send them to me and I tweet about it. And then in weekends, we have weekends dedicated to different industry sectors. So we have 4 jobs per weekend, and then during the week we have like 15 jobs. Get tweeted more like 2-3 times. I'm just going really well. It's all about the click-throughs to see which wins. It's getting like a bit of a competition within sales now, which job is in the top 3, because they usually send the results to their clients. So there's excellent relationship building. We had a record 2 weeks ago with a 50 click-through average per job, which is very good. It started at 20 when we started. So we're giving sales really an extra reason for them to pitch to clients, because they can see that this is actually working. And we are increasing our followers. We are 10 people from 1,000 followers, and we launched 5 weeks ago, which is a very strong number. I'm not going to tell you my secrets because I'm not allowed, but it's all about using existing channels, really.
It's all about poor spelling.
That too, but I'm Norwegian, so I'm allowed. So it's all about research. I never thought after I finished my dissertation, I thought I was done with research. Definitely not. I go to a lot of social media conferences. If it's something if social media you want to go into it, I would Google social media conferences once in a while, because they're actually free, some of them. So they're good to go to. I went to 2 days one a couple of weeks ago, and some of it is very basic, but some is really good too. So there's a lot of time dedicated to that, and I get a lot of ideas from it. Webinars, I listen to maybe a webinar a week. I sign up to different webinars. Something's called HubSpot. They do a webinar each week. Usually it's in the States, but if you can't listen to it late at night, you just get it sent to you, so which is genius. Then you have different magazines like Brand Republic online. You have New Media Age, which is really good about social media. They usually have their own section about it. And then you have Marketing Week, which also addresses social media a lot more. So I always read those. Industry reports, courses. They want to sign me up to like different courses so we get advanced in this. And blogs. Social Media Examiner, if you haven't been on that. Have you been on that? Go on that. That is the best blog. It's genius. Mashable, and then HubSpot. Yeah, there's a couple out there that are really good. You just need to decide which ones to follow, because you never have time to read all of it. So the future, in addition to what we're doing right now, we're going to do more. I'm currently working on our new blog. We launched a blog in December. We have a student view section, which is basically articles written by students. We integrated in there. What I want to do is I want to integrate this into milkman.com through WordPress, so we'll have it on tab. It will have a job hunt theme, so we'll basically follow a couple of bloggers. They will write about how they're struggling finding jobs, or if they found a job, how they went about it, and so they can kind of share their experience with students and try to encourage them a bit. We'll have bloggers from each term is the plan, so I'm putting out an ad in May, hopefully. And I'm playing with the idea to have a couple of competitions when we're launching the blog. For example, the graphic design of it, I really want a graphic design student to do, so we get the student feel of it, because Generation Y is all about getting engaged into the project. And as more we can engage them into this, the popular will become, because it's all about word of mouth, really. So that's one of the ideas. They're out now. Then we have the visual side of things. We're going to open, we don't have a YouTube account for some reason, and this is SlideShare. Going to do both, because the audience is very visual. They like to have some videos, not only text all the time, especially with the amount that students are studying. They like to just watch some videos. It's perfect for both B2B and B2C. B2B, you have the how to use this new software we just launched. B2C, we can have video bloggers, we can have how to make a good video CV. There's so many things that we really want to incorporate, but this takes a lot of technical skill I don't have, so it's all about finding if we have it in-house. SlideShare, engaging presentations. I would love to, the second you come into Milkground, you can look at either a video or a presentation, how to use Milkground the best, for example. these are all small stepping stones. We have a forum, which is used, but it could be way better. So we're doing a total revamping of it. We're changing all the threads. There's like 14 threads there now. We're going to put it down to like 7 or 6. So choose the popular topics based on analytics that we have from Google Analytics, something like that. Also, a Milcon representative will probably be me. That will go in and actually answer the questions other people can't answer, or just give a more professional point of view onto it. We just signed a contract with Student Room. Have you heard of Student Room? Yeah? You have. That's quite weird. This is like the biggest forum for, what is it, maybe like 14-year-olds up to 18 probably. It's huge. They have so many people on there, it's insane. So what we're doing now, we just became an official representative, so we can go in and answer all the questions about careers, and we will have the Milcon logo there.
How did you get to do that?
They approached us, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been talking with them for a while, and we've been advertising on it, on the site. So we have a good working relationship with that. So that will start end of this week. So yeah, yet again, I'm the official representative.
You've got your work cut out, haven't you?
I know. Should tell Alex I need an assistant.
That was going to be one of my questions, actually. Where's your team?
Yeah, it isn't. It's me. So there's been some very long days, and going to be even more. Do you know what that is?
It's some QR code.
Yes, QR code. So this is like my little baby. I introduced this to my brand a month ago. We just trialed it a few weeks ago with up-and-coming advertising company up in Bath. They are called Take Note. Very, very good guys. It's all about offline distribution. So what you basically do, you have a code, and you choose where that code leads you. So we have a code, and we put, for example, the home page. You use your smartphone, you scan the code, and the home page pops up on your smartphone.
So it's like a barcode for the internet.
Yeah, basically. But what is so genius about it is that you can track it. How many years have not advertisers wondered, how do you track the results of like a typical poster or an ad or something? Now you actually can. You can actually see it actually works. So it merges online and offline, and this is something we're going to focus on. We're talking to Take Note now and really establishing a relationship there. And this is definitely, I think, the new big thing in social media. They say social media. I don't really know why, but it is. So it's really exciting, and you can use it for so many ways. You can use it at business cards. When I go to conferences now, I get business cards with QR codes on. Yeah. You can either go to the LinkedIn account, or if you're representing a company, go to the website.
You scan it with your camera phone?
Yeah, your smartphone.
But you have to download the app first, right?
Yeah, but that's free. It takes 2 seconds. So it's all about paying attention, really.
Yeah.
If you want to stay. If you want to work in social media, you need to know all this before everybody else knows.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a pressure.
It's almost like the perfect poster would just be a QR code, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there are many of them out there. But
because you'd have to scan it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
yeah, because you're so curious.
To see what it is.
So, do you have any other questions?
Okay.
That was fantastic. That was really, really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, you've got a lot,
it's a very
lot of work
short
to do.
overview of everything we're doing. It's very difficult to put everything.
Yeah.
I did talk about social media for hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think I was going to end up in social media, to be honest.
Me neither.
Yeah,
sure.
What did you study at uni?
I did marketing for BSc, and then I did advanced marketing management for MSc,
Okay.
which I did at Lancaster.
Okay.
So yeah, then I started here. And then Alex came on board, and she kind of, the 2 days of meeting her, she's like, okay, you're creating a social media strategy. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Fantastic.
And now I'm really involved in it. It's fun. It's really fun to see the results. I absolutely hated Twitter yesterday because it was being mean to me because it kept on not working.
Yeah.
But then when you see 10 more followers, you get excited. It's quite sad.
It's the most addictive thing, isn't it?
I know.
It's insane.
But I kind of promised myself not to. I have my own Twitter account, but I don't use it because I'm.
Me neither. I'm just Wiggle tweets.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much all the time. I I need a break because I started dreaming about Twitter.
Me
So,
too.
yeah, see?
Recently, right, I was speaking with my housemate about why my sleep was suffering so much, and it
Yeah.
actually was because I think it's only just happened over the last month. I've just become so embedded in social media that I'm always thinking about it, and it's because, I mean, we're a really tiny outfit, but, you know, we've just reached 3,000th user, and what
Yeah.
we're doing right now, actually, this is a question as well, I'm finding the best thing I can do right now, I'm the community development manager, is every new sign up we get, I see them straight away. And I have a bit of a dialogue with them. Obviously, that's going to, you know, that's not going to be possible all the time because it's going to, you know, it's accelerated at a really fast rate
Yeah.
over the last month. What can I do to just maintain that sort of localized conversation I can have with the individual user? Because I'm finding it's the most effective thing I can ever do in terms of getting other people to the site as well. Grow more hands, perhaps?
Yeah. Use your interns.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
God, that's a tough question
Because I'm sure you'd agree, that meaningful dialogue with the individual is one of the most effective things, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But I think you kind of have to realise that you won't be able to do that.
Yeah.
I know, I really wanted to do that too, but the amount of candidates we get signed up every day on
It's
Program,
also one of the funnest things you can do in your job as well, because it's actually
Yeah.
quite a nice thing to be able to do, isn't it? To have conversations with the users.
It really is. No, I think maybe the best thing you could do is maybe create some kind of, every week you have like a Q&A session or
Yeah.
something like that for new
Yeah.
registrations.
Yeah.
There's certain websites like you have. I remember I used to watch one guy on YouTube. He does like comedy sketches and stuff. And I think once a week he goes. I forgot the name of the website, but he does like a video session where everybody can just like talk and chill out and everything. But it's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
it's like you get involved with the person. It's I don't know. It's
It's
weird.
like hanging out with them.
Yeah, because like the way how you would say when you actually talk to the internet, like when you sign up to MySpace, which I deleted ages ago, but you get Tom in your friends list automatically, and you're like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
you never speak to him. He never speaks to you. You don't even know who he is.
Well, Tom should be speaking to you, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Like, as
Yeah,
soon as
he
you
should
sign
be,
up, you should
yeah.
have a dialogue with Tom. That's why I'm Steve, and everyone who signs up is automatically my contact. I get to speak to everybody, but
Oh yeah, I
obviously
signed
that's
up to it. I see what it was.
Yeah?
I remember. Yeah.
Did I speak to you?
No, you didn't. But I was on for like 2 seconds. I was like, okay, this is what we're having today in the Q&A session, and then I kind of went off.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was interested in what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
So
So I think it's something like as an organisation we can forget. I mean, even if they had a day or everyone had 2 hours per week that they had to engage with users, that would be so effective, wouldn't it, as well,
Oh,
in terms of
definitely.
attracting people to the...
that's also what we're seeing because when I started this, Alex and I agreed 50 to 60% of my time will be dedicated to social media, the rest
Yeah.
of it comms. I just had a meeting with her yesterday. I was like, you do know this is not realistic, right?
Yeah,
You do know that we need, if we want to do social media well, you need to dedicate at least 95% of a person's time to it.
yeah,
So basically one position.
yeah,
Because especially now with our target audience, which is so tech savvy, and then you have the new generation Z coming in a few years, who's going to be way worse.
Yeah.
And how are you going to stay on top of it?
yeah.
Then you need dedication.
You need a community manager, I guess.
Yeah, and the first thing I do every day, I log into my blogs to see, okay,
Yeah.
has something happened overnight?
Yeah, because that's like the first time. That's like the individual time you get to do that when you're not at work as well. That's when
Yeah.
you get to have a bit of a chat, I guess.
Yeah,
Because when you get to work, it's like,
exactly, yeah. And then you have all new ideas, and social media was never really used here before, and now people actually seeing the results of it. So I have like people coming to me with ideas, which is great. It's all about finding, okay, what is the best strategy and where does it fit in? Because one thing I don't want to do, it's extremely important to integrate all of it, but also to have those separate parts, yes,
Yeah.
within the integration again. So, yeah.
What happens when you leave the office?
Well, then I go home and dream about it.
do you still find yourself having to do work at home and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Still.
too.
Have you requested an iPad?
No,
Try it.
we do have iPads though. We use them for registrations.
Good idea. I need to do that too.
Yeah, I have my iPhone. I have an app for my social media management tool, and so I go in there and check the stats for my job Twitter every night. It's very sad, I know.
I do it when I'm out sometimes though. Like on the phone, I might just check in and log in quickly just to see what's happening and stuff.
Yeah, I do that too. I just don't want, like, if there's a bad tweet that we're mentioned in, so everybody sees it, I don't want it to stay on there for too long. So you get a bit addictive, and social media is not a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, true.
It isn't. But it's so much
24-hour
fun too, yeah.
Yeah,
But you kind of learn to disconnect a bit. I'm better, like weekends now, I'm not touching it
yeah, sure.
because I got strict with myself.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is getting ridiculous.
I've actually taken certain things off my phone, like work email and that sort of thing. So I think that's a good idea as well.
Yeah,
Is there
I still have that though because I'm so much out of the office too, so I can't
Yeah.
do it.
is there software that you can get that like alerts you when milk round has been used in a negative sentence or a negative, I don't know, conversation?
I don't think there's one particular only for negative. Social mention does like an
Another
email
great
alert
idea,
system.
though.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know how it would recognise, but if you could,
Yeah.
if that would
Yeah,
be
but you got
fantastic.
tagging, you know, you have like certain.
You'd recognise tag negative words, I guess, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You just have to
I don't think
create.
that exists only for negative words. That would be a really good idea.
Because those are exactly the things you need to jump straight
Yeah.
on.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Even a
Especially for big
response.
brands, yeah.
Nothing worse. If you ignore something like that, it's really really bad, isn't it?
Like fungus.
Yeah.
Grow.
Yeah, we had a user that started badmouthing one of our clients on Twitter. Just started like telling negative things about them and total lies. So I went to the account manager. I was like, "What should we do with this?" And she contacted the client again, and he was like, "What? This is not accurate at all." And it took me a day to sort it out. So because sometimes they don't log in, they're not logged in all the time, so they come back and forth. But you kind of have to be there all the time to
Yeah.
address it right away. So, yeah, cool.
Thank you very much. That's
Done.
really good. Any question? Any more questions?
I have a question about Prezi.
Yeah, go for it.
What happens if the place I go to, let's say, I'm only going to be using it at uni, but what would happen, which should happen, if there was no internet connection? Can you save it on like a USB or something?
Good question.
Yeah, it's a good question because you can't rely
The
on the
thing about
internet.
Prezi, like I love Prezi when it behaves, but it's so underdeveloped. There's so many things you can't do yet.
Right.
That's why for certain presentations you have to use PowerPoint because you can insert images and YouTube, but that's the only thing. You can't hyperlink anything, for example, yet.
Okay.
Which
I
is
bet you will
annoying.
soon.
Yeah. So you need to make everything into images on your laptop.
When you get your Mac, though, they've got some nice presentation stuff.
Are you giving me a Mac?
Well, when you get yours.
Wow, that's a great place to work. I'm worth it. Get computers. Let's see. No, I think you need to have.
An internet connection.
Oh no, you can download it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, right.
Super.
Do you pay to download it? Do you pay for any of this so far?
Nope. You can buy the Pro one.
Does that mean you can? Maybe you get the Pro, and then I bet then you can do the links.
Maybe.
That's probably the deal, isn't it? You can
No,
just
I
do.
don't
There's
think
just
it's
so much more
upgraded there either.
functionality. No.
Yeah, no.
What's the hook with the Pro one then?
For example, that down here where we have the Prezi logo, I can put the Milk Round logo,
Oh right.
and I can privatize it.
Okay.
Now everybody sees it.
Okay.
So, but I just don't allow people to copy it. That's why you have to be a bit careful what kind of information you put on here.
Yeah.
So no company secrets and things. But to be honest, I haven't looked that much at the Pro one because this is something we started using 5 months ago. So.
Okay.
But as I'm increasingly going out to people and teaching them how to use social media in their job hunt, probably something we're going to start using.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, use Prezi. It's fun, especially if you're going to assessment center or something. Shock them with Prezi.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Definitely. PowerPoint is just so ordinary these days. So.
I think in a way that says so much more about what you're going to offer as well. If you use something alternative like that,
Yeah.
But you've already made yourself stand out from the crowd completely. haven't you?
Yeah.
Before you even started.
And also, I think one of the big flaws with PowerPoint, people put so much text on it.
Yeah.
And you're
People
like,
don't know
reading
how
and
to use
reading.
PowerPoint.
Exactly. They don't know. Especially like lectures and stuff. You're like, oh, come on. Who do I pay attention to? You or the
Or
slide?
the screen, yeah.
So what is genius with Prezi is that you're not supposed to use a lot of text. You're only
Yeah.
supposed to have one word and you're supposed to be able to
I have
talk
arguments
around
with people all the time. You're not supposed to. It's like
Some people write out
And then
exactly
they
what they're
read
going to
it.
say.
Yeah.
and
They
it's
read
like
it.
that doesn't make
Exactly, yeah.
sense. Doesn't make sense. Every
No, it
time we
doesn't.
have a group presentation, I have this argument all the time.
Well, you should use this one next time.
I will.
Yeah. Cool. That's that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Good,
really good.
You're welcome. I'll go and get Alex.
Okay, I'll send that video to you if you want as well.
No,
Do
thanks.
you mind if I post it onto Wigoo for the interns and stuff?
No,
to
that's
see?
fine. Go
Yeah?
ahead. I just really don't want to see it.
It was really, really good.
Yeah. So many people have videotaped me. I'm still not comfortable looking at myself.
Okay.
I can never be an actress. That's fine. Excellent. Thank you guys.
Have a nice day.